Can I have a water? I had half a can of a hey y'all.
I like that you tell me you're ready to start recording and then you're discussing hey y'all with Johnny in the background. Hello and welcome to Tea is Good, Books Are Better, the podcast where we drink tea and talk about books. But apparently we're drinking hey y'alls.
Not anymore. It was 2 hours ago.
You drank half a hey y'all?
Yeah, I had half a hey y'all in the fridge.
Oh.
I drank some yesterday and I was like, I'm not in the mood for this, and I put it away.
I feel that. Speaking of drinks, I have a bit of a confession. It's not a confession, but it's just like Jake and I went to Kelowna for our 1-year anniversary, and we went and did some wine tasting and stuff, and I tried ice wine for the first time ever. Ooh. Have you ever tasted ice wine?
I have no idea what that is. And no.
Okay, probably not then.
Is it wine with ice in it?
No.
No.
It's called ice wine because of the way it's made, I think, but I don't remember how it's made. Anyway, it's super delicious, and it's like sweet but not too sweet, and it's like kind of thick compared to most wines.
Oh, so like a dessert wine?
It's closer to a dessert wine than like a regular wine, I would say, but it's not exactly the same. But yeah, the guy, when he was pouring it for us, he told us not to swirl it or it would just stick to the walls of the glass.
Whoa. Was it like really sweet?
Yeah, it was sweet, but it wasn't like overwhelming.
Oh.
So yeah, we bought a bottle and it was $60.
Whoa. Well, it's not the most expensive wine I've seen.
Yes, well, it's the most expensive wine I've ever bought.
Yeah.
I just don't know, like, when am I supposed to drink it? Like, it's not something that you can, like, drink a glass of. You need to, it's
really?
like a, yeah, no, it's like a, I'll have a small taste of this.
Oh. Maybe next time you have, like, a charcuterie party.
A what?
However you say that word.
What are you trying to say?
Shoot. I'm spelling. Charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
Yeah.
Oh, it took me so long to figure out.
Like, how the fuck do you say this big ass word? Yeah.
What do you mean the next time I do that? I don't think I've ever done that. I guess
maybe
I'm gonna have to start.
Christmas, Johnny and I were planning on making wine.
Planning on making wine?
No, a charcuterie board.
Oh, okay. That'll be fun. Christmas will be fun this year.
It sure will.
We have a fucking fireplace now. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You're gonna hang stockings up there?
There's literally hooks for stockings on it already.
Nice.
I know. Okay, what are we drinking today?
I'm actually spicing it up by having a vanilla Earl Grey.
Oh my god. Excuse me?
Hell yeah.
What do you mean vanilla Earl Grey?
I mean, Earl Grey, that apparently has vanilla flavors.
Is that like a tea bag or is that a loose leaf?
Oh yeah, it's a tea bag. It's from Tetley.
Oh. Okay.
It's not fancy.
Yeah, I might have had that one before
it's
then.
Grocery store tea.
Yeah. Well, I'm also drinking grocery store tea.
Woohoo!
Except mine is peppermint vanilla.
Oh, how's that? Does it taste like vanilla gum?
It tastes like Christmas.
Whoa. Word.
It just tastes like mild peppermint. And it's like kind of opening up my sinuses a little bit.
Oh.
Which is nice because I feel like I haven't been able to breathe ever since I moved to Langley.
Happened?
I don't know. I just like every time I breathe in, it's like this. That's always. That's like the best it's been in like 3 months.
Wow.
No joke.
I'm the same way, but I blamed Bonnie.
I think it might just be Langley, dude.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Is there like an elevation difference or something? Like, what the fuck?
Whoa, that's not something I even thought of.
It's not something I've ever had an issue with before.
Huh. Maybe it ain't just me. Oh, maybe it's not Bonnie.
I started thinking, like, I need to get that, whatever that thing is that Jess was using before for her nosebleeds.
The humidifier?
Yeah.
I bought a humidifier, like an actual one.
Okay.
From, I think, Superstore, and it really helped with opening up my nostrils.
So,
And
did you get,
keeping
like...
it from going too dry.
Yeah, that's what I need. Like...
A humidifier?
Every time I blow my nose, there's, like, blood coming out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like, just recently it's been okay, but pretty much before, like, mid-August, my nose was just so dry and, like, blood.
Yeah. Relatable.
Yeah.
I'm so scared when I ever see blood. I'm like, oh, shit.
It's just the walls of your, like, nostrils are really, really thin, so anything will make them bleed like nuts. All right, so we are going to kick off this episode with where we left off our characters, Jess.
Ooh. Davos. We haven't been with Davos in a bit.
It's been a hot minute.
Yup. Stannis makes Davos a lord and his hand of the king.
And him hand of the king?
Yeah. Made him his hand.
Made him his hand.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's better English. Jon makes it back to Castle Black, where Maester Aemon immediately sets to mending his leg. Jon warns Aemon about the wildling army coming from the south.
And just a quick shout out to our patrons who have stuck with us for yet another month. Thank you so much. I don't know where this accent came from, but it's here.
You really like that accent, don't you?
It's the only one I can do. I could try Russian.
Whoa.
Thank you to our patrons. We have Tobias, we have Jake, and we have Eric.
Weird way to say
Eric. Ooh, that's fun. You should try it.
I cannot roll my R's.
What?
Nope.
I always thought you
It's
could.
the end of my existence. No.
Oh.
I'm the one who can't roll my R's.
Oh. Well, I'll have to teach you.
I need to learn, because no YouTube video has helped me so far. It's all bullshit.
Oh.
Like, no one. You're like,
Well.
do this with your teeth. And I'm like, what the fuck?
We know that I can teach you since I taught you how to cure your speech impediment.
Yeah,
Remember that?
Yeah. Taught me how to pronounce my R's. Why
I'm
not
queen.
rolling R's?
We just gotta take your R's to the next level now.
Hell yeah, let's go. I can impress my coworkers.
What? What?
I have 3 coworkers from El Salvador who sometimes like try to speak Spanish with me. Like they help me sometimes. And they're really disappointed that I can't do the rolling R. They're like, it's essential for Spanish.
No. It is literally one of their letters in
I know.
the Spanish alphabet. One of their letters is the rolling R. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Davos.
we'll talk about
Union
that.
Night.
Chapter 54 is Mama and Davos.
Mom in Davos?
My man, Davos.
Okay.
So, Salador San informs Stannis of what happened at the Red Wedding, as the small folk are calling it. So, it has been dubbed already, the Red Wedding. They swear Lord Frey had the boy's head hacked off, sewed the head of the dire wolf in its place, and nailed a crown about his ears.
Oh my god.
Dany's vision! His lady mother was slain as well, and thrown naked in the river. Bruh. Davos, overhearing this, thinks to himself that this shit is fucked up.
Yeah.
And the Freys are cursed. He thinks of the leech that Stannis tossed on the brazier, saying, the usurper, Robb Stark. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sir Axel Florent and Queen Selyse, Stannis' wife, start loudly praising the Lord of Light, saying this was his divine work. Stannis is doubtful, believing this sounds more like Walder Frey's handiwork. But Melisandre says that R'hllor works through whatever instruments he requires. Even people, I guess. Sounds like an excuse. Stannis... Yeah. That's the atheist in me. Stannis grows annoyed with his wife's loud proclamations and shushes her. He is concerned that the Lannisters will quickly destroy the remaining Greyjoys and Starks, leaving him no possible allies. So he tells Sand to sail to them and offer pardons if they swear fealty, though the idea of dismissing their treason seems to disgust him. Alright, Stannis, chill out. But Melisandre tells him they will not join him. In fact, more false kings will rise up to take the crowns of those who've died. She has seen it in the flames. Oh. So that made me wonder, could she be seeing Jon?
Ooh, I wonder.
To take the crowns of those who died, right?
Yeah.
We've got fucking Euron in Pike picking up Balon's crown.
And after, the purple wedding, gonna be another crown handed over to someone else.
Yep. That crown will be handed over. And then we've got, Renly. No one really took Renly's crown.
Nah, he was just passed over.
Yeah. But Robb, yeah. Who else would be picking up Robb's crown? Other than the man he made his heir.
Shit.
But anyway, Mel says this, and Stannis looks like he's about to throttle her. Selyse begs him to heed Mel's words. Stannis says these flames are full of tricks, and Mel explains that she may have misread the flames before, but that is her mistake, not the gods. She uses a metaphor of that, ants are to people what people are to the gods. So, if you try and explain something to an ant, it's not gonna understand.
Okay.
And she says Stannis must prove his power to the realm. Selyse says he must wake the stone dragon with the boy. Only death can pay for life. Melisandre agrees, as well as Sir Axel. Stannis says the boy is his own blood and is innocent. It's not his fault who his father was. Mel says there is no sacrifice more precious than the innocent. Jesus. Davos notices that when Selyse touches Stannis, he pulls away, but when Mel touches him, he does not. Mel is everything that Selyse isn't, Davos realizes. Young, full-bodied, strangely beautiful. Stannis recounts the time his father took him to court with Robert. They were all very impressed by the king, agreeing afterward that he had been as noble as the dragons were fearsome.
Really? King Aerys? Okay.
However, their father told them years later that they had actually met Lord Tywin Lannister, not Aerys Targaryen.
Oh. Wow.
Yep.
And they thought he was the king.
I imagine he was sitting on the throne, being the hand and all.
Yeah.
But, he seemed very kingly to them.
Yeah.
And, very noble. And very impressive. And Aerys Targaryen was not there. What do you think is the point of this anecdote? Was Stannis telling
that he I wonder if he sort of kind of idolized Tywin a bit, not idolized, but sort of like that's a king. And it's looking at that and it's thinking that's if that makes a good king, then he wants to be like that. But Tywin, is it more like a general? I think it's very similar to Stannis.
Oh, I see. I was wondering if he was kind of implying that kingly blood is bullshit and doesn't make a king.
Could be that too. Very well.
But he didn't say, he didn't technically say anything negative about Aerys. He just said the person they met was not him.
They didn't meet Aerys at all, so
yeah.
they didn't really have an opinion of him. You only had a strong opinion about Tywin.
Yeah, so I couldn't really figure out what exactly he was trying to say here between the lines.
Yeah.
Let me see.
But I did notice that they're kind of similar.
Oh, Tywin and Stannis?
Yeah. And, like, their methods of war. And that harshness? Like, no second chances.
Oh, yeah.
They're very...
merciless.
Yeah, very hard men.
That's true. Cold. Hard. Merciless.
Duty-bound. Honorable? No. No, that's not what the word I was looking for.
Yeah, and I don't know if I would describe Tywin as duty-bound.
Neither of them. To his family, I can see him having a duty for his legacy.
Yeah, but to the realm?
Not so
no,
much.
like he abandoned Eris pretty much immediately.
Which as soon as he saw they were losing.
Yeah. So, Davos asks permission to speak suddenly, and Stannis says that's why he made him hand. Davos says that no man is as cursed as the kinslayer in the eyes of gods and men. I think this says a lot about Davos, that he is the one single person, the odd man out in this room full of religious nuts, who is standing up for what he believes in and trying to save Edric Storm's life.
Like, I can respect that he would not be the type of person who changes his opinion to fit in.
Yeah. I think it's very brave to be the one person who disagrees with a room full of people.
Mm-hmm. It is very brave. Courageous.
Like, yeah, even if you disagree, most people would probably just remain silent.
Yeah.
So
they would.
Davos is he's a special kind of someone. Good man. So, he gonna die. Mel reminds him that there are no gods other than R'hllor and the other, and she says small men curse what they don't understand. Davos agrees that he's a small man and demands to know why she needs Edric Storm. She says only death can pay for life, and he has king's blood. Davos has seen what a small amount of that blood can do in the leeches. 2 false kings are dead. Davos says Robb Stark was murdered by Walder Frey, and Balon Greyjoy fell from a bridge. So who exactly did her leeches kill? And she's still short on 1 king. Joffrey lives. And Stannis agrees with Davos here. So, how kind of brainwashed do you think Stannis is? Because I was pretty convinced that he was, like, pretty darn brainwashed. But, I don't know, the more I read, the more he's, like, arguing with Mel.
Yeah, something happened to change his mind. Was it the battle at the Blackwater that made him, like, more apprehensive? That was the last book, right?
Yeah, but he also admitted that the reason that failed was because he didn't bring her.
Like, I'm trying to... It's been a while since Davos, but I'm trying to remember, like, what made him second guess her so hard. Like, I was kind of confused. I'm like, whoa, why is he questioning so much?
Right?
I don't remember. Maybe it was when he chose Davos to be his hand that he was also, like, was questioning Melisandre? Melisandre?
Yeah.
Wrong person. Melisandre.
You're thinking of Melisandre.
That's why he chose him to be as, like, an opposing voice.
Right. Well, that makes sense. I just think it's interesting that
yeah,
he doesn't seem to be quite as convinced.
No, he's questioning it, which I think is good.
Is that what it's like in the show as well? Or is he, like, super brainwashed the whole time?
There's, like, a pause when he questions it after the Blackwater, but I think he comes off pretty brainwashed sometimes. He really does.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So maybe that's why I was going into this kind of expecting more of that.
I hear a lot of complaints that the show didn't do Stannis justice.
Oh yeah, like Stannis was completely not memorable at all from the show. Like as soon as he was
there
gone,
for so long.
but as soon as he was gone, I basically forgot he existed, which is like sad.
It is. They got them what 5 seasons,
Bruh.
5 or 6 seasons in, and you're like, okay.
Who was that again?
Stannis who?
Robert had a fourth brother or a third brother?
Fourth brother.
I meant third. Oh wait, it would be Robert's second brother.
It is.
Fucking Christ. I meant second. I'm tired, okay? Good lord. Alright. So Stannis agrees with Davos's point. Mel says that 1 king might die by chance, maybe 2, but 3? If Joffrey should die in the midst of all his power, would not that show the power of the Lord of Light at work? Queen Selyse and Axel say that Joffrey will die, or maybe he's dead already and they just haven't heard yet. Yeah, right. Stannis, annoyed, says that 2 is not 3 and dismisses them all. Davos sticks around after everyone leaves to basically beg for Edric Storm's life. He reminds his king that Stannis' daughter takes her lessons with him and plays with him, Edric Storm, and her heart would break if anything were to happen to him. Stannis is short with Davos and says he knows, and then he complains about how the boy looks like Robert and worships him, even though Robert never gave him a second thought. Stannis says he's one boy, and it wouldn't matter if he was the best boy who ever drew breath. Stannis' duty is to the realm. The darkness will devour all the rest of the boys and girls in Westeros if he doesn't do something about it. He says he never asked for this duty that was thrust upon him by Melisandre, yet she swears the signs and prophecies point to him. Davos says the cost is too great, and Stannis asks what is the life of one bastard boy against a kingdom. Davos says everything. Oof. What do you think of that?
Saying everything?
Davos, well, of his opinion.
Maybe he means it would affect his opinion of Stannis. Know that he did black magic to get there, involving killing his own flesh and blood.
Yeah, but I don't think Davos just means his opinion. I think he means what it actually would say about Stannis at that point, as a king.
Yeah, for real.
Stannis tells Davos to go before he talks himself back into the dungeon.
Oh.
Davos leaves. He smells the sea nearby, and part of him wants to take his son and go home to his wife. He looks up at the castle walls and sees the carved stone dragons. He had often heard that the wizards of Valyria did not cut and chisel, but worked stone with fire and magic.
Oh.
But now he wonders if they were just real dragons somehow turned to stone.
Oh.
Ooh. Salladhor Saan joins Davos, and I think tells him that he is going to forgive but not forget his treachery.
Davos' treachery?
Yes.
Huh. Of not being able to pay.
Is that what it was?
I don't know what other treachery he's talking about.
Oh. Yeah. Sand says without all that gold on Claw Isle, he will die impoverished, and his wives and concubines will forever curse the Onion Knight. So that's what it was. Sand wanted to go to Claw Isle to take all of their gold.
Okay.
But Davos is the one who talked Stannis out of doing that.
Okay. Stannis. Not pirate Salladhor Saan?
Well, Sand would have gone there to participate.
Okay.
So Sand is upset that Davos convinced Stannis to not do this.
Okay.
Sand says he hears the Queen's men don't care for Davos, and a certain hand has been making friends of his own. Davos thinks Sand hears too much. It's true that the Queen's men are dedicated followers of the Lord of Light, but the lesser folk of Dragonstone are drifting back to the gods they've known all their lives. They say that Stannis is ensorcelled.
Ensorcelled?
Ensorcelled, which is a fun new word, which means, like, enchanted.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
they are upset that Melisandre has turned him away from the Seven. Davos sought these people out and heard their concerns about this new religion and the way the war is going. So that's kind of what San seems to be implying that he knows. So San asks if the king will give the boy to the Red Priestess. Davos says he won't. He couldn't harm his own blood. Bruh.
He can't harm his own blood?
Just you wait, Davos.
Oh, Davos said that?
Yeah.
Huh.
Davos says that Stannis wouldn't harm his own blood.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
San says Renly would be glad to hear this.
Oh, right there. Got him.
Got him. But Davos says that Renly was a traitor and the boy is innocent. San says, we'll see. And he says that Davos has grown so very great now, but the higher a man climbs, the farther he has to fall. Then he leaves Davos to ponder his words. Davos heads to the Maester's chamber, thinking that he has definitely risen higher than he was ever meant to. He can't read, write, and the lords despise him. He said as much to Maester Pylos a while ago, and the Maester offered to teach Davos to read.
Oh.
And so every day he has been spending time with Maester Pylos learning to read.
Well, that's different. Not as sweet, but okay.
Yeah, you're thinking of how it was in the show?
Yeah.
Was that when he was in the dungeon?
It was. Yeah.
Like, so it would have been before this in the timeline? Or does he end up in the dungeon again? I don't remember.
I think maybe it was before that.
Okay. So yeah, in the show it's Princess Shireen who teaches Davos how to read. Which, I mean, I can't speak to how this is going to go in the book because I don't know yet, but I feel like it could be more impactful what ends up happening with Shireen.
Yeah, I think they did that to make her a bigger character, maybe? That we'd all like her. Yeah.
To have us invest in her a little bit. At the door to the Maester's chambers, Patchface is waiting for the princess to finish her lessons. And he's just kind of standing out there muttering that under the sea, the old fish eat the young fish.
Okay.
All right, Patchface. Some wise words from Patchface. Inside the room, the Maester sits at a table with Princess Shireen, Davos' son Devon, and Edric Storm. Davos takes some pleasure at the sight of his son keeping company with a princess and a king's bastard. Devon will be a lord one day. They have just finished their lesson. I'm not sure if we've mentioned this before, but it kind of pointed out here that Shireen is far from pretty. She has Stannis' square jaw and Selyse's big ears, and she was also afflicted by grayscale in the cradle, leaving her with one cheek and half of her neck all gray and cracked and hard.
You said all of her neck?
Half of her neck and one cheek.
Okay. That was pretty hideous. All of her neck. Oh.
Yeah.
She's not
just
to call her
wearing
hideous.
a scarf.
That's a gruesome scar.
Yeah, I mean, it's described as not pretty.
Well, that sounds horrible. Gray and cracked? Whoa. Ooh.
Yeah.
Any fissures in skin, it's kind of like, ooh.
Oh, me too. I can't handle it. I have trypophobia, so anything that's even kind of remotely like that, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's disturbing.
Yeah. And, like, some people have, conditions that makes their skin, like, more pockmarked or, like, dented or
yeah,
patchy or whatever, and I, like, feel like a piece of shit when I literally can't look at them.
Oh, no.
But, like, that's on me.
Yeah.
So that's something that I would have to get over if I were to meet a person like that in the flesh. The kids briefly discuss what they were reading. Tales of King Daeron the First. Shireen thinks he was brave, but Devon says he worshipped false gods. Okay, dude. He's a godly lad, apparently.
Okay. A R'hllor lad?
He's a R'hllor lad. He's R'hllor's lad. Edric Storm says his father was braver and once won 3 battles in a day. Maester Pylos scolds him for boasting and dismisses the kids. The Maester grabs a letter for Davos to practice with, an older letter since they have no new ones. Davos struggles to read it, but figures it out with the Maester's help. He realizes it's a letter from the Night's Watch, addressed to all 5 kings. It warns of a vast host of wildlings, and the king beyond the wall's journey south. It says they fear Mormont has been slain with all his strength. So this came, like, straight from Castle Black?
It's the plea for help that they assured Jon that was sent out.
Oh. Okay. Is that in the next chapter, or was that in the previous Jon chapter?
Oh my god.
Because I didn't remember them saying they sent a letter, but...
Okay, it might be in the next chapter.
So Davos asks if Stannis has seen this letter. Maester Pylos tells him they brought it to Lord Alliser when it arrived, as he was Hand at that time, and Alliser said they wouldn't reply or bother Stannis with it. Stannis does not have any men to spare for the Watch. Davos thinks of how little Stannis has and wonders how the Watch could ask him for help. Then realizes they may not know how weak he is. Yeah, how could they possibly know?
What the fuck, are they watching the news on TV? What the heck?
They are the Watch.
They're busy with their own things. Wildlings, obviously.
Yeah, like, you don't think they're dealing with enough shit?
Like, we saw, like, half of, like, all of their hosts has been taken out.
Yeah!
Like, duh.
They don't give a fuck who the king even is. They're like, yeah, whoever wants to call themselves king, please help.
Listening. Help!
Help! Davos wonders what Melisandre could think of this letter, for she's the one who's always speaking about the coming cold.
Oh, in the darkness.
Oh. He remembers a tale Sand told him of how Azor Ahai tempered Lightbringer by thrusting it through the heart of his wife, and he worries that Edric Storm must be this victim. But But he dismisses that thought quickly. It doesn't matter if some wildling king conquers the north. Why should Stannis defend people who refuse to acknowledge him? Okay, that's the end of that chapter.
Whoa.
But, I mean, that's quite the question.
And how do you get more allies if you ignore people? Like, come on.
Yeah, there's that.
They're asking for help, so only you can get allies. Jeez.
But it's also, like, this misconception that this is only going to affect the north.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, even if it was only wildlings, which we know it's not, the north is a realm of the kingdom. Like, what exactly would be... You would have to retake it at some point.
Yep.
So why not use preventative measures instead?
He was like, oh, who cares? Wait till I'm on the throne. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, Stannis can't do anything. Like, he doesn't have any way to help them, which... Yeah, like, I can acknowledge that much. But it just seems silly to use the... It's because they're refusing to acknowledge him reason. Like, that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't? I don't like that reason.
Yeah. And it feels weird for, like, Davos to think that, too. Like, he's a very, like, empathetic dude. And smart.
Maybe it's just because he's working for Stannis and he's like, this is who Stannis is.
Yeah. But I feel like maybe he's, like, losing a little bit of faith in Stannis.
Possibly.
So he's trying to, like, cling to that last bit of faith that he has, like, really hard, that he's even thinking, like, this weird shit.
could very well be.
So that is Davos.
Oh shit.
Next we have chapter 55 is Jon.
What do you call him, Jonathan?
No.
That's my man.
That's a yo man.
Alright. They wake up that morning to Mole's Town burning. Can you... to the smoke of Mole's Town burning. So I don't think they can actually see it from the castle. Or can they? Who knows?
See the smoke or Mole's Town?
No, like Mole's Town.
Oh,
They definitely see the smoke.
Oh, how far is Mole's Town? Does it show it on the map?
No. It's way too small.
Maybe it's visible. I don't know.
Maybe. Could be.
Could be.
Who knows? Okay. Anyways, Jon is still in a lot of pain, and he's using a crutch to move around. He is positioned on top of the king's tower with a long bow, along with Deaf Dick Follard and an 18-year-old boy named Satin, who grew up in a brothel in Old Town.
Satin. What a name.
Yeah. Maybe he was born on a satin blanket. There is a point where a brother tells Jon that they need every man who knows which end of the spear to stab wildlings, and Jon tells him the pointy end while fondly remembering Arya.
Aww. Stick him with the pointy end.
Stick him.
Stick him.
He can see the King's Road from the tower and is intently watching for the wildlings and hoping with his fingers crossed that Ygritte has abandoned them. He doesn't want her to die.
That would be not knowing Ygritte very well. Like, even if she
This is hoping against hope. Like, please.
Yeah. But even if she, like, decided that this whole venture was stupid, she would come with them just to spite Jon.
Yeah. She would. I have a note here.
Oh.
That Castle Black in the show seems to, like, actually have a wall and a gate, and it's pretty well fortified. But in the books, it's, like, not fortified at all. It's just... like, the wall is their fortification, and there's buildings all around it. That's Castle Black. So, like, they don't really have much defense from the south, because they don't really expect battles to come from the south. So they've been building, they threw a bunch of crap to make a makeshift wall of, like, barrels and whatnot. A barricade.
Right. But did you read the actual reason why they don't have a wall?
I guess I forgot it. Or I didn't write it down.
So Castle Black and the rest of the castles on the wall, none of them have any walls. And the reason for that is because the people of the Watch are supposed to be dedicated to the realm, and they, like... have no fealty except to the realm.
Like part no wars on that, Jess?
Yeah. So the idea of the no walls is that they are vulnerable to being taken over. And that's on purpose, in case they try to rise up and, like, make their own little watch army and try and claim their own lands and whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the little tidbit where, like, Jon, like, mentions a couple of Lord Commanders in the past who did try that shit.
And they got shut down real quick because they couldn't defend themselves.
No. They tried and they failed.
So that's the interesting idea behind the no walls.
Yeah, so they had built a 10-foot tall crescent-shaped barricade around the castle made of barrels, casks, and other random crap. They've also built several straw men, or scarecrows, pun intended, to stand along the wall and on top of the towers, to make it seem like there's more of them than there really is.
Scarecrows, I love that.
Yeah, and the king's tower has 6 scarecrows alongside the 3 of them.
Right. Okay, so there's 9 of them up there, but only 3 of them are real.
Yeah.
That's smart, though.
It is. It'll definitely give the wildlings a second look. 3/4 of the villagers from Molestown had come to Castle Black for refuge. The brothers had been bringing them up to the wall to keep them safe. Every man who can hold a spear would have to fight with the rest of them, so it's a lot. They have some like help, I guess.
Right.
The women and children are tasked with putting out any fires that happen during the battle, and the midwife was assigned to Clytus and Maester Aemon to help them with any injuries. And 2 of the whores even showed enough proficiency with bows to be allowed to fight as well. Nice.
Hell yeah, get them on the wall.
Heck yeah. And of course, there are some villagers who chose not to evacuate Molestown at Jon's warning, and he briefly wonders about their fates.
Oh, they're dead.
They did.
Oh, they did. Wait, is that where Satin is from?
He's from Old Town.
So
that's where the Maesters learn.
Okay.
At the big tower.
So
it's more south.
He is a recruit, like a member of the Watch.
Yeah, he joined the Watch.
Okay.
Probably when Jon was north.
Right.
Like, I don't remember him from the other books.
Yeah, because I was like, who is this guy? Like, where did he come from?
Who's this kid? Yeah, he's suddenly there, and Jon's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Do this now. Jon thinks about how if they had 50 mounted rangers, they could be able to easily take out the wildlings on the road. But alas, they're fucked. There's like barely any of them.
Yeah. Jon really did save everyone there.
Oh, he did.
Like,
it's all him.
If he hadn't escaped when he did, they would all be slaughtered in their sleep.
They would have.
Bruh.
Steph. Donal Noy is shouting at some Molestown men, and Jon thinks that he has a lord's voice. And he remembers his father telling him that in battle, a captain's lungs were as important as his sword arm. And he has his memory where he and Robb used to climb different towers at Winterfell and shout at each other. Practice with their lungs.
Well, that's
pretty
cute.
Cool. They wait all day. They're brought food and water. One of the brothers confirms with Jon that ravens had been sent out asking for help with the wildlings. So that's the letters.
That's the letter. Gotcha.
The SOS letters.
The help us fucking now, please.
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 Near Evenfall. Even?
Yeah, Evenfall.
Yeah? Okay. Jon orders a fire lit and to start boiling oil.
Yep. Welcome to the medieval ages.
Oh my gosh, one of my coworkers, she's a 60-year-old woman, and she
Did you say she's a 60-year-old woman?
Yeah, women. She's a 60-year-old woman.
She's a woman.
She had a band-aid on her arm for months and months and months, from an oil burn, and she showed it to me after it got off, and it's her entire forearm. It's like completely like it's the most hideous scar like I've ever seen in my life. It's from boiling oil.
Oh my god.
Holy crap. So like every time I like boiling oil is part of like a battle, like oh my god.
Bruh. Okay.
Just cook them alive, why don't you? Just deep fry them alive.
So wait, how did she do that?
Oh, it's an elaborate story of how her husband was preparing oil for deep frying stuff, and he got distracted with a phone call, forgot about it, and soon the flames erupted and almost took out their entire oven. And they together, like, he grabbed the pot and she opened the door to the backyard for him to chuck it out. Into the backyard, and it got all over her arm. Yeah.
Oh my
pretty fucked. Especially knowing that they're like old. Like poor old people like, getting burnt like that. Oh my god. Like no wonder that bandage is on for months and months and months.
Holy fucking shit.
It's horrendous.
That's insane.
Like I remember working at Triple O's, just getting flicked with a little bit of oil from the deep fryer on my face, and it just seared right into my flesh. Just a tiny little droplet. It's so much damage.
Yeah, I mean, even when I'm like, frying up some food, it's like the spitting oils. That thing's killer.
Just making it. People like talk about the bacon grease. Like, where are the bacon? Like, fucking hurts. Fucking grease. So yeah, so I'm a little bit disturbed by boiling oil as a weapon.
They had no chill back in the day.
Hell no.
No chill at all.
Once the sun sets, they arrive. When the horns blow, Satin pisses himself, but Jon politely pretends not to see it. And he orders Satin to shake Dick awake because he's deaf. And then he gives Satin a rundown on how not to waste arrows and hiding between loading times.
Okay. Good.
As he positions himself, he remembers something Theon told him once. The boar can keep his tusks and the bear his claws. There's nothing half so mortal as a gray goose feather.
Ah.
He's not the hunter Theon was, but he is no newbie with a long bow either. He starts shooting at the shadows running into the castle. He hits some, he misses more. He empties his quiver and he grabs another. Jon keeps an eye out for the Magnar, wanting to make sure he dies. Hopefully, maybe they'll scatter the Fen. His fingers start to feel stiff and his thumb starts bleeding, but he keeps shooting. Deaf Dick yells at Jon in the thick voice of a deaf person to look at the armory, and he sees a few wildlings on top trying to set it on fire, so he starts shooting at them.
Wise.
Wise. An archer on the ground hits Dick and he falls to the ground. Looking down at Dick's body, he sees a flame of red thick hair and he recognizes Ygritte. He aims a shot at her, but he cannot release, and soon she disappears. More wildlings start charging into the castle with their shields above their heads. Jon grabs Satin and leads him to the north parapet and orders him to start shooting at the Thins below. Jon runs out of arrows and he runs back to grab more when the trap door opens. He's like, fuck, I forgot! Lock this door. He doesn't have time to think, and he drops his longbow and whips out Longclaw and buries the blade into the head that pops out.
Whoa.
The head of a Fen. The Fen crashes down onto the men below him. Jon yells for Satin, and together, they dump the boiling oil down the trapdoor onto the men and slam it shut. The shrieks were as bad as anything he'd ever heard. I bet. Yuck.
Yep.
Ugh, that tar, anything that freaking cooks the person alive, I'm just like, no.
Fire ain't so bad. Just kidding.
Fire is okay, but don't.
I mean, have you compare fire to like boiling oil? Damn. One of these things is not like the other.
No. Anyways, the wildlings come to the barricades of Mole's Town men. So there's a bunch of Mole's Town men trying to barricade them from running up. But they don't fight for too long, and soon the Mole's Town men are running away, and the wildlings are continuing up into, I guess, the castle or towers. I didn't really understand. But they're held up by another barricade of Black Brothers, but the wildlings fight through them as well. The wildlings fight their way up the stairs to the fourth landing, and Jon and Satin start setting their arrows on fire, as well as all the other archers on everywhere else. And they start shooting at the steps, which have barrels of lard and oil piled beneath them, as is the plan.
Ooh, genius.
Soon the stairs are engulfed, and the wildlings on the stairs die. The Magnar of the Fen is dead.
Wow.
And the battle is over. And they all burn. Oh my god.
So
Satin.
Really good plan.
Yeah.
For what they had to work with, that's really impressive.
Yeah, they did amazing. So, 40 of them versus 100 and some odd wildlings?
Yeah, and they had barely any time to prepare.
And most of them weren't fighters.
Yeah, a bunch of newbies who, a significant chunk of them just turned tail and ran. I don't super blame them for that.
Those
like,
were the mole's town men.
Yeah. But yeah, like, let's get them up on the stairs and then trap them there and then light them on fire.
Burn them alive.
Brilliant.
Jeez.
Yep.
That's hard.
I mean, effective, though.
It was very smart. I'm proud of them. It happened pretty effectively.
Yeah.
They just rounded them all up, all in the same place, burnt them. Satin helps Jon down to the yard, and he goes off looking for Ygritte. He finds her sprawled on the ground with an arrow between her breasts. He's relieved that the arrow is not his, but he still feels responsible. He kneels beside her, and her eyes open. She asks if this is a proper castle, and he says yeah. She says good, she wanted to see a proper one before dying, but he promises her that she will not, and he'll take her to see 100 castles. Ygritte smiles and asks Jon if he remembers that cave, and tells him that they never should have left. He promises her that they will go back, but she cups his cheek, and she tells him, "You know nothing, Jon Snow," and she dies.
Damn.
And that's that chapter. Sad times.
I was surprised that she was still alive. Like, when he walked over, I thought she was just gonna be straight up dead already, and I was like, whoa, that is, like, cruel to do to him.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be just to find her just freaking dead?
Yeah, and then he doesn't get, like, a moment to
No
say
closure.
goodbye, no closure at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought it was until she, like, woke up, and I was like, oh. This doesn't feel very
Takes
a
a little
Song
bit
of Ice and
longer.
Fire.
I think it takes a little bit longer to die from an arrow.
Oh, I'm sure. But also, how long did that
Just-
battle take? Like, when did she get hit?
You know what? It probably took a while. Not as fast as how I read it.
And if she was still, like, on the ground, she had to have been hit pretty early on, no?
Probably, most likely. She wasn't
'Cause she
part
was,
of them
like-
when they left.
She was
Up
in the
the
yard.
stairs.
Yeah, she hadn't made her way up at all. Or onto the stairs.
At least she didn't burn. My god.
Yeah, God, can you imagine?
That would have. I think that would have been worse to know. To find her charred body. But, my god.
George is treating her way better than he treated Rob, though, damn.
Oh my gosh. He had to do something terrible to Rob because he was hated by his enemies.
That's true. That's brutal, though. Like, it's hard enough to kill your own characters, but then to do that sort of thing to your characters that you, like, love and care about. Like, it's hard enough for us having to hear about it.
It is.
Imagine how it is to write that. It's
Man,
like you're
I didn't
doing
think
it
about
yourself. It's like he's cutting up Rob himself. Because he
You're
is.
the murderer.
Well,
I wouldn't know. I don't write books.
but you get it.
Yeah.
It's not too hard to understand. It's not some brilliant thing that only genius writers get.
You sure?
Yes. Okay, well, that's gonna be that for Storm of Swords for this episode.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm blast.
When you're having fun.
Nice.
Yes, indeed. But that was an interesting battle, I feel like. I don't think I've read a battle quite like that before. It seemed very calm.
Yeah, because he was like away. He was just firing arrows.
Yeah.
He wasn't like in there with the chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed it's something like I never really thought about with the arrows of how John's fingers started to go numb and started to bleed. Like that's not something I ever thought about, but definitely that would happen. Like you'd fuck up your fingers, you keep shooting and shooting and shooting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And things you don't think about.
There's like no
Wow.
one motion that you can keep doing over and over and over and over and over without
Hurting yourself a little.
hurting yourself. Yeah. Except maybe breathing.
I guess. Or with my heart pumping.
Yeah. But that's not under your control.
Nope.
Nopers! Alright, well, I guess we'll end this one here. Next time, we will be back with some Bran and your favorite girl, Daenerys.
Dany.
Dany. Guess where she's going? Oh, yeah. Big Mama Slave City. The
Big Mama Slave
kahuna.
City. Again.
Will she take it? Will she lose, finally? Will her winning streak end?
We'll see tonight.
Not tonight.
Did you glance the Sansa chapter coming up? After the Tyrion chapter, after the Dany chapter?
I might have read it already. Hang on.
Oh, really?
Did I? Let me double check.
So you know there's a second wedding coming up?
Wait, no, I haven't read it yet.
We're going to get another wedding. Woo-hoo!
Oh, shit.
All this partying going on. This is a book of celebrations.
Yep. It's the happiest book ever.
Thanks, Storm of Swords. Why didn't I get this far last time? I don't know. But I'm thoroughly enjoying it. There's a lot of shit going down in this book.
How much farther do we have to go until we're done? We've still got like a third of the book left.
Right?
How is this one taking so long? I feel like the others have not taken this long.
Fucking book.
Yeah, but the others are just as long.
Mm-hmm. Did we do like only 2 chapters with the others? Sometimes we do 2. Oh shit! I noticed that there's a huge chunk that is appendix.
Oh, so it's probably we're probably actually close to the end.
It looks more like a quarter left.
Gotcha. Oh, I have something kind of interesting to talk about.
Oh shit! Shoot!
I tried an ad for the first time for our podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, so I boosted our post about the Red Wedding on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I just thought it might be kind of interesting to...
See what happens?
Well, the ad is done now, but...
I know. But to see it, does anything.
To kind of go over what did happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I remember when I made the ad, it said we could reach it was 500 to 2,000 people or something like that.
Okay.
We reached 22,787 people.
Oh, Jesus. Damn.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that 90% of them were European.
Oh, they like ours. They like the books.
So I went and checked out the stats on our most recent episode.
Yes.
To see, were we getting more listens? Where are they coming from now?
Okay.
And, yep, we've got about double the listens that we usually do.
Wow.
And it's, 90% European.
Awesome.
Our top countries for our most recent episode, which would be episode 116.
Okay.
Our top countries are Serbia and Bulgaria.
Whoa.
Right?
Whoa.
Hello to our Serbian and Bulgarian fans.
I'm shocked. Wow.
How freaking interesting is that?
It
and
is.
Also, we have more listens on that episode than we do on the Red Wedding episode.
Wasn't the Red Wedding episode the last episode?
No. The last one was the post-Red Wedding episode.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Which also has more listens than we usually do.
Damn, son.
But lots more in the post-Red Wedding episode. I guess people probably just listen to the most recent one.
Yeah, probably.
So
they're like, this isn't Red Wedding. This is the last, but
yeah.
Are you going to do again with the Purple Wedding?
I might.
See here, listen to die.
Oh, okay, spoilers. Listen to blah, 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 die. Yeah, we'll see if the listens stay, I guess. The listeners. We'll see if they stick around, hopefully. Please stick around. We love having you here. But yeah, if they do, and it proves that this ad that cost me money was effective.
It definitely was.
Well, it is if they stick around.
I guess. But even just one.
Yeah. But yeah.
Stay.
In that case, yeah, I might boost the purple wedding too then.
Oh, sure.
That'll be a fun one.
Yeah, pretty dope, yo.
All right. That's enough of this. Thank you so much for listening. If you want more of the podcast, please follow us on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at TIGBAB Podcast, or you can follow us separately. My handle is Crimby, Jess's is Jess.Egan24. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search TIGBAB Podcast or Tea is Good, Books Are Better, and we should show up there. Also, please subscribe to our good friend Bahrami on YouTube. He's the one who made our jingle, which you heard at the start of this episode, and he's a really cool guy and makes dope stuff, so check him out. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/teaisgoodbooksarebetter. We have a few different tea-themed tiers with fun rewards, such as behind-the-scenes content, outtakes, and mini-episodes in which we force our brother to watch Game of Thrones, which he hates. So you will be getting something in return for your contribution, and you'd also be helping us improve the podcast with better equipment. But we also just appreciate you listening. And please don't forget to share the podcast with your family and your friends. It is the best way for us to grow. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.